Alright fellas, welcome back to another episode of Very Important News. This is the series where we talk about the most pressing issues of the recent times. I will link the playlist below if you are new. Make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications, blah blah blah, so you can be part of the buzz every single time a new video goes live. And last but not least, watch the entire video, don't be a bitch. Now fellas, we know for a fact that most of Twitter is just absolutely awful, right? Like the normie, regular part of Twitter that you see every day, like on the news and on mainstream media, is just simply the worst. Of course, there is a small, good section of Twitter where people actually put out like funny memes and actual good content, and you know that right away when you see it, and you know it in the replies too especially, okay? That's when you know that you're dealing with the cool guys, right? But unfortunately, that part of Twitter is probably only like 10%, if that. And simply put, it's just not always possible to combat that and to override the worst of Twitter, which is what we have an example of here today. So what was trending was mansplaining in 5 words. Ugh, man, we're really doing this again. Like, we're really already going back to this. It's already a joke. It's a meme in itself. It's a parody of itself. But no, there's people that are just, they're dead serious out there, and they're doing these tweets talking about what their opinion of mansplaining in 5 words is, and the replies are nothing short of absolutely awful and terrible, as you might expect. So before we start analyzing this trend on Twitter, just in case anybody is not familiar with what mansplaining is, we just gotta look at a couple of definitions first just to catch you up, you know? According to Google, mansplaining is the explanation of something by a man, typically to a woman, in a matter regarded as condescending or patronizing. And basically, what it really is it's a made-up word. It was I think it was made up by BuzzFeed, actually, which is just, that's how you know it's bad right off the rip right there, but it's a made-up word by BuzzFeed. It was not a thing more than like 3 years ago, and somehow it caught on, and people have already fallen for it, and now it's legitimate somehow. God, we're just the worst, man. We deserve whatever happens to us. Here might be a better definition of mansplaining. This one's from Urban Dictionary, so you know it's gonna be a little more accurate, right? Stating accurate, verifiable facts, especially when these facts are inconvenient to the feminist worldview or contradict feminist talking points. It is often used by feminists who make an incorrect claim in support of their narrative, and someone responds with something refuting the feminist claim, which she, usually it's a she, cannot counter. By claiming mansplaining, she tries to pretend to have invalidated her opponent's claim, even though she has not addressed it at all. All right, so maybe a more accurate definition and maybe not. I will let you guys be the judges of that. Let's get into reading some of these replies here, man. So the first reply we have comes from this girl in the form of a meme. Mansplaining in 5 words? How about a meme instead? Oh, yeah. Please, share this meme. I gotta see this. This is gonna be so funny. Ready? Here we go. Where does a mansplainer get his water? From a well, actually. Very, very compelling humor here. I mean, how do people think of this stuff? Oh my God, it's too good. This is comedic gold. Here's another reply, a simple chart for men. Mansplaining in 5 words. Can I just point out the fact that somebody took the time to make this chart? Like, this is so ridiculous before I've even started reading it. Let's take an inspection of this chart up close, shall we? So, starting from the upper left corner here, am I mansplaining, okay? Did she ask you to explain it? If the answer is yes, then not mansplaining. You know what? Fair enough. Okay, I could get behind that. I don't think there's any disagreement there. But if she didn't ask you to explain it, then you got to ask yourself, do you have more relevant experience? But as you can see here, by either of the options to the right here, it really doesn't matter, okay? Whether or not you have more relevant experience, it's probably mansplaining, or definitely mansplaining, or you should just stop talking now. I also love how, too, if you look over to the very right of this chart, it says, did you ask if she needed it explained? And then if she says yes, then you're allowed to explain it without it being mansplaining. However, I want to know from everybody watching this video, like, don't you think it's more condescending for a man to say to a woman, or for anybody to say to anybody for that matter, do you need it explained? Like, that's something that I would probably find more condescending than if somebody was just trying to offer me an explanation for something without really asking. Like, just leaning over them and being like, do you need it explained? Like, that just seems so much more rude to me, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? And then I also love in the bottom left too, it says, she has more experience and is a well-known well-known expert and that means you should just stop talking now. Like, dude, who out there in their right mind is going to think that they know more than a well-known expert on the topic? Come on, man. These people don't even exist. These people are just being made up by this agenda here just in order to prove a point. Like, if I have a well-known expert of anything in front of me, male or female, I am clearly not going to think that I should be explaining anything to that person. And I don't think anybody out there really would. But, you know, we can't have nice things here, okay? This is why people got to go out of the way to make these stupid fucking flowcharts. And just, of course, like clockwork, man, you look at the profile, the pronouns are already listed there. Probably should have seen that one coming before we even went to check. But if you thought that was bad, it gets even worse. So then somebody else comes in and corrects this person with the flowchart, and they say, I fixed your shitty chart, Twitter, mansplaining in 5 words. And can you guys tell what the difference between these two charts is? Take a close look. Really, really look at the words they use. That's right. You see that? They replaced all of the pronoun she with the pronoun they. Now, at first, when I saw this, I thought this was like a funny dude coming in, like saving the day, swooping in for a good joke right here. And at first, I was all like, but then, unfortunately, I slowly realized that this was not a joke. Like, this is actually a person coming out here correcting this chart to use gender-neutral pronouns so we don't offend anybody here. I thought it was a W, but it turned out to be an L, man. You can't win. Can't win in this world. But SJWs coming to eat other SJWs is one of my favorite things in the entire world. So at least we got to witness that. Moving on here, let's look at some other replies here. So this guy here replies, any guys genuinely using mansplaining in 5 words is a fucking simp. Yes, dude, yes. This is what we need more of, dude. These are the unspoken heroes of Twitter right here. That's a W, straight W. Then we got this lady over here. Actually, that's 4 words. Hashtag mansplaining in 5 words. So if you guys missed the joke, it's supposed to be like some kind of play that a man will correct you, and instead of you using the 5 words, it should actually be 4 words. So it's like she's correcting you. You know, it's supposed to be irony. It's supposed to be a really, really, really good funny joke, right?
Gay!
Yeah, bro, I don't know. I'm just not feeling the humor in this one, you know? I don't know. Punchline was pretty weak in my opinion. What do you guys think? Well, I guess it doesn't matter what we really think because the people that replied to this tweet seem to think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. God, this is so good. You win the internet. Annika, you are a genius. Oh my God. Yas, queen, slay, get him, sis. Man, the internet could be such an awful place, man. Like, these people are straight bots. These are NPCs that are replying to this. Like, these don't even seem like they could be real Twitter accounts that are actually run by real people. When the bar is this low, like the level of fruit is this low hanging, and there is just absolutely no standard for humor or irony here. Oh my God, dude, we need to hit the reset button already. Here's someone that replied with an image of mansplainer bingo. So if you take a look around at some of these squares we got here, I'm just really not sure just by taking a quick glance. I mean, are these things only exclusive to men? I mean, has a woman never said something like, I haven't insulted anyone? Or has a woman never repeated herself before? Has a woman never said, you're being ridiculous, or you're just wrong, or calm down, or well, actually, I'm neutral? What you're trying to say? Like, what? Dude, did these people just make these things up? This is literally the Manatees episode from South Park, right? It's just RNG just thrown all over this board. I want to just take a step back from roasting for a second and really talk about this for a second. So I'm looking at these sayings here, and I'm not saying like I've never said any of these things before to someone in real life, but I could definitely truthfully say that I've said them pretty rarely, and honestly, I've probably said them to more men than I've said them to women, but I've also had both men and women say these exact same things to me. So like, what's the end game here? You know, I don't understand. How is this just all of a sudden pinned on men explaining things? If anything, I would say that this is more along the lines of something that you would see in an actual real debate between two people instead of versus regular conversation, you know? And if you're debating something in the first place with anybody, no matter who they are, I don't understand what's so wrong with saying these things in the context of debate. And speaking of debate, I will say this one thing right now. So there was a reply that I saw that was definitely like a feminist reply that was pretty funny, and that would be this reply right here. This picture says it all. And touche, you know, it does say it all. This is actually pretty funny. So you can clearly see the 3 male presidential candidates shouting over each other, and then Amy Klobuchar is just sitting there in the middle like, dude, guys, just shut the fuck up. Like that, it is a good look, okay? It's a good picture. We could give credit where credit is due. This one made me laugh. It was probably the only reply that actually made me laugh. Anyway, fellas, that about wraps up this video here. So Mansplaining resurfaced today briefly again on Twitter. It will fall back under the radar, but it will be back, okay? These things never fully go away. They're always going to resurface every here and there, and when they do, we're going to roast them, okay? It's that simple. I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below right now. What would you say? What's a mansplaining in 5 words to you, right? Let's get a contest going for best comment right here. I'll pin your comment, okay? If it's the best one, you'll get pinned. I look forward to reading your responses, fellas. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, then do not forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe, turn on notifications, blah, 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 so you can be a part of the buzz every single time a new awesome, amazing video such as this goes live. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Links are both down below, and I will see you dudes in the next video. Love you, bye.